or studs? Oops. Studs. I'm gonna go with hoops. Alright, now I'm ready. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So let's excuse my appearance because just getting started. Yes. So I know it's been like a minute since I've actually sat down to do my makeup and film it for you guys, so here I am. I don't really know what I'm gonna be doing today, but if you guys want to hang out with me while I drink my coffee, put some music on, and just play with my makeup, then let's get started. First, I'm going to be moisturizing my skin, obviously, and then next we're going to do some color correcting, and I'm using the Maybelline Master Camo Color Corrector pen, and this is just the green one. I'm not sure if there's like a specific name for it, but it's the green one, and I'm also going to be using the red, well, it's like the salmon one. It's not the red one, because they have like a deep red one, but they also have a salmon one, and I'm using this for under my eyes to kind of conceal my dark circles, and then the green, it cancels out red, like any redness that I have. So you can use any kind of corrector that you have, or you could skip this step if you wanted to. For foundation, I'm going to be using my Milani Conceal Plus Perfect foundation. This is in the shade Creamy Vanilla or 01. And I'm just using this with a black beauty sponge that I got from this really cool store that I found at the Parks Mall in Arlington. If you live in the Dallas area, you know what I'm talking about. I'll talk about it in a minute. But for concealer, I'm actually going to be using my Maybelline Master Conceal in the shade Light Medium. And I'm just using this to kind of go over any spots that I feel like needed some more coverage. But for concealing underneath my eyes and kind of like highlighting, I'm going to be using the same concealer, just in the shade Light. And back to that sponge that I was using, I actually found that at the store at the Parks Mall it's called Miss A. And everything in that store is $1, which is crazy because you would think that the quality of their products wouldn't be that good, but the brushes that I've used from them are amazing. I love them. I've talked about them on my Instagram. So if you can, get to that store or even go online and just like stalk their website to see if their brushes are available, because most of the time they're out of order on their website. But at the store, I got a lot of brushes and I got this sponge, and everything was $1. And this sponge works so good. It feels like an actual beauty blender. Super soft, and it's actually really, really big. So I loved it. And really quick, I'm just setting under my eyes with my Maybelline Fit Me Loose setting powder. And this is in the shade 10. So I already did one of my eyes and my brows off camera, so I'm just going to bring you guys in so we can begin. The tape is optional, but I just used it because it was easier, I guess. But I'm going to be using my Valentino palette from Joann's Beauty and taking this red shade and this pencil brush. I'm going to first start off just by like tapping the color onto my lid and getting the general shape of where I want these shadows to lay. So I'm just putting this in my crease and then dragging it out towards the outer corner. And then I'm just using small circular motions to kind of blend that edge. But to help blend even more, I'm going to be taking this E104 brush from that Miss A store that I was talking about. This is just a large blending brush, and there's no product on this brush, but I'm just kind of buffing out that edge. And then just keep on adding some color until you're satisfied with the pigmentation. I also bring the shadow down to the outer corner of my eye to create that like point, you know what I mean? And then next I'm going to be using my Jaclyn Hill palette and picking up the shade Jax with that same brush that we've been using just to intensify our crease. And then I'm just going to take a Wet n Wild blending brush with a little bit more of Jax just to kind of help blend that out. And then once you're satisfied with your pigmentation, we're going to cut our crease. And I'm using this really tiny brush to do that because it allows me to get into small, like tight spaces without creating a mess, as opposed to using a larger, like flat brush. It's kind of hard to do that outer corner at the end. I also got these little like puff things that I put on my pinky. That way I can actually put my finger onto my face to give me some like balance without messing up my foundation. So if you're a girl like me who sometimes does my foundation before I do my eyeshadow, you don't want to ruin what you just did on your face. So that little puff kind of helps from messing anything up. And of course, this is what I was talking about with like that tiny brush on wanting to get like a very sharp, precise tail, I guess you could say. This brush really helped to do that. And then here I'm taking an E113 brush, which is just a flat brush to pick up some more of that red and pack this on the inner corner and the outer corner of my eye. And then to get into that little corner right there, I just used the very tip of the brush because it was just like a flat edge. So it made it a little bit easier to kind of cover that spot. And then you just want to flip your brush to the other side and then pick up some more of Jack's from the Jaclyn Hill palette and then just deepen out those corners. Next, I'm going to be taking a combination of two brushes. One is just like a pointed pencil brush and the other is just more of like a fluffy pencil brush. And I'm using the pointed one to apply some black eyeshadow, and then I'm taking the fluffier one to kind of blend that out. The pointed one actually kind of helps with that corner as well to kind of get into that little edge right there. If you don't have one like this, that's fine. This little corner doesn't have to be very perfect because we are going to be going over it in a bit, but I just like to keep things clean as I work, so if you could make it as easy as possible as you can, that's the best. And then here I'm just kind of going over everything with some more red eyeshadow because I didn't want that black to be super strong. So this NYX white eyeliner is trash, so we're going to be using this E117 brush, which is just a very thin, detailed brush, and I'm going to be using some white acrylic paint. I know that sounds a little scary, but I've used paint on my skin before, and it's never done anything damaging to me. You just want to be very careful not to get this into your eye. But it just was a lot easier to use paint instead of that white eyeliner. I hated it, so if y'all have any recommendations for white eyeliner, let me know. Next, I'm going to be using the smudge brush from Real Techniques, and I'm using that with a little bit of red eyeshadow to pack over this white liner that we created. This step is optional, you don't have to do this. I just wanted to tone down the white a little bit before we added the glitter. To prep for the glitter, I'm using my NYX glitter primer and another detailed brush that I got from Michaels. And I'm just going to be going right over that line that we just created. I'm using this white glitter that I got in a pack from either Hobby Lobby or Walmart. You can basically find it at like any craft store, but it's gorgeous because it has green and pink reflexes in it, and I just thought it like completed the look. And then I'm just kind of cleaning up the edges a little bit with this brush that doesn't have any product on it, but I'm just using it to push the glitter into place. That way it just makes it look so much cleaner and crisp and just perfect. Of course, to get the halo effect on our eyelid, I want to use some of that NYX glitter primer in the center of my lid, and I'm just applying that with like a craft brush. And I'm using a E113 brush to pack on the shimmer shade, which is my Ben Nye Lumiere Luxe powder in the shade Iced Gold. And then I just pop that right onto the center of the lid, and it shines like a diamond. I love this stuff. At first it looks kind of white, or like it looks really light when you first apply it, but then when it dries, it has that really pretty golden shade, which you can see on my other eyelid. And then of course I'm using another E113 brush to pack on some of that red shade on the edges. That way it has a really pretty like blended ombre effect. Here I'm just running some more of that red from the Valentino palette all throughout the lower lash line, and I also drag it out through this edge because I just wanted that to be a little bit more blended. It was a little bit too harsh for me, and I'm taking that blending brush again and just further blending. I'm also taking some of Jack's from the Jaclyn Hill palette and going right over everything. Basically the same thing that we did to the top of our lid. And then I'm going to use whatever was left on that pencil brush that we used earlier for the black. I'm using that just to kind of smoke out the lower lash line some more. And then I'm also going to highlight my inner corner with that same iced gold that we put onto our lid. And then I took some random black eyeliner that I had to run that in the waterline and smoke everything out. For lashes, I'm using this pair that I got from Joanne's Beauty's Lash Book, and these are in the style Jalisco. So I'm running out of mascara. I actually need to go get some more, but I'm coating my top lashes and my lower lashes with the L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Paradise Mascara in Blackest Black. Moving back to the face, I'm going to bronze using this F13 brush and my Wet n Wild contour palette in the shade Caramel Toffee. Of course, you have to add a little bit of blush to the apples of your cheeks. And I also added a little bit to my nose just because I felt like it looked cute. You know, when you're cold, your nose gets a little red. It just made me think of winter. I don't know, but it was cute. And then I'm using my Morphe setting mist to set everything into place. And then I'm going to be applying my Artist Couture highlight in Illuminati with this F19 highlighting brush. I felt like my nose highlight was like super intense, so I'm just taking this like e.l.f. highlighting brush and just kind of toning everything down a little bit. And then you gotta lock everything in one more time. So for the lips, anytime I do a red lip, this is my go-to combination. I'm taking this NYX eyeliner in the shade Brown Perfection, and then I line my lips completely and kind of like fill in the corners. This just makes your lips look so much bigger and so juicy. It just works. And when you put the red on top, you can't even tell that it was like a brown lip liner. But for the lipstick, I'm using Kat Von D's liquid lipstick in Outlaw, and this is my favorite red. I love it. Now another tip for making your lips look a little bit more plump is taking some of this NYX Jumbo Pencil in the shade Milk. It doesn't have to be this exact thing, you could use concealer if you want, but you just place it a little bit in the very center of your lips and it just makes your lips look so good. And boom, that completes the look. If you are still here at the end of the video, thank you so much. I love you. I am in love with this look, like 100% in love with this look, and I'm so happy with how it came out. If you feel the same way as I do about this look, then go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you guys recreate this look, definitely tag me in your pictures or send me pictures, whatever you feel comfortable doing, but I would love to see your guys' recreation. You could always DM me on Instagram. I'll leave it linked right here and also in the description below. And if you're not following me on Instagram, you definitely should, as well as subscribe to my YouTube channel. I would love the support. But thank you guys so much for watching. I love you, and I'll see you in my next video. Happy holidays!